Today on Investor Wednesday, I'm going to guide you through a BRRRR analysis, give you the tools I use and the formulas that will help you on your journey to financial freedom through real estate. Hi, I'm Darrell Essex, your realtor here in Chicago, Illinois, guiding you on your journey home. And I work with people from all over the Cook County, Lake County, and DuPage County that either want to buy a home here in the area or are thinking of selling their home. If you're thinking about making a move or selling a home, please contact me. My contact information is in the description below, and you can also set up a direct one-on-one Zoom call with me through a link in the description below. And now let's get into this video. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and find our property that we want to go ahead and analyze. So things I like to look for when I go into trying to find a property is I like to let's look in the local area. So I'm in Chicago, Illinois, so we're going to look for homes that's in Chicago. And typically I like to do single family houses. You can use this strategy to buy up to like 4 units. I mean, you could probably use it on a commercial property of 5 or more, but I like to keep it a little bit more simple. Go ahead and do single family houses. Also, single family houses seem to produce a little bit better of a cash flow at the end than maybe a 2 flat. 3 units, about the same. 4, you would probably get a little bit more cash flow from a 4 unit, but it's going to take you a lot longer to get there because you're going to end up renovating 4 units, and that's a longer process. So single family, shorter process, get you in and out, and also we're going to get you more cash flow for your investment. So first, again, Chicago, Illinois, I like to do single family homes. The bread and butter, the honey hole, seems to be 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, at least in my area. That seems to be where the peak is for your cash flow. 2 bedrooms, you're gonna see a huge gap between 2 bedrooms and 1 bedroom on what you'll be able to bring in on rent. Even with a 3 bedroom, 1 bath, there's still a pretty sizable gap. But once you start getting to 4 and 5, there's still a gap between 3 and 4, but the gap is way smaller. You might make a couple, like $50 more a month, but end up paying a whole lot more up front. So the honey hole seems to be roughly 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. So we're gonna go 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, stay in that good area. And I like to keep my property search under 150 because anything more than that, people start getting a little bit too greedy on the seller side, and they don't leave you much meat on the bone to go ahead and get everything done. So first things first, BRRRR method, buy. So let's go ahead and get this bought. So let's see what we got here. So we got a few up here. 149, that looks a little bit too rough for 149 for my taste. Let's see what this 90, no thank you. Bring it a little in. This isn't bad. This looks a little better. 5 beds, 2 baths. 5 beds, 2 baths, 130. I can already tell that's a little rough because now you're going to end up dealing with roof issues. Roof issues is not anything fun. That's $15,000 to $20,000 without even looking at the inside of the house. That's a little rough. So let's see. That's not bad. 4 beds, 2 baths. So let's take a look at this one. See what happens. So let's get in here. See what these pictures look like. Very foggy pictures. Wow, doors are falling off. Needs a full clean out. That's probably about a good $4,000 of a clean out just in that basement. So this one, not a fan. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's see what else we got. 69. What's this? 118. Let's see what 118 will get us over here. So this looks decent. Up here looks solid. Definitely want to look at your gutters and your roof and your pictures first thing. This looks okay. I don't know why contractors go ahead and do this and never ever seem to tell them, you know what, you're gonna need some paint or at least a good strong wood sealer and things like that. Because I mean, come on, You see here at the bottom here, it's not looking good. This is probably like maybe a 3-year-old stairs, and it looks 40 years old because no one ever treated this wood. So first thing you would want to do in here, not going to cost you too much, get a sander and go ahead sand this down just a little bit to get the top layer off, and then treat this wood so that it'll last. And you'll bring it back to looking brand new. Throw a little water seal on there, and then boom, all of a sudden you have fresh new looking thing here. So that's solid. And then this lattice here looks good. Again, didn't treat it. You go in there, treat it, look brand spanking new. Let's see, we got a tile floor here, which is not bad. That looks pretty good. These appliances look solid. The window, or not the window, the ceiling fan looks good. From here, the cabinet looks okay. Newer door. Not too much to do in here. You could probably get away with doing almost nothing in here unless you just want to change the countertop or something. Okay. So here we go. We got a bedroom. Hopefully they take this out, but if they don't, not too bad. You could put most of this back into the alley. And then let's get into a bigger picture. So now we got the living room. Walls look pretty good. Ceiling looks good. I don't see any signs of water damage from roof problems. No damage on here from roof problems. Looks pretty solid. Floors, I think that's a hardwood floor. It's hard to tell from here, but I'm gonna assume that's hardwood floor with a dark coating on it. Again, walls look solid, pretty good. We got our typical white baseboards. Maybe when you buy it, go ahead and throw antique white on there. That's a good solid universal color that a lot of investors and flippers are using to, just have everything pop a little bit better. Bathroom looks pretty good. Tiles look here, probably need a little cleaning here, no big deal. Again, no water damage here on the ceiling. That's definitely a good sign. A good cleanup of this, you're in good shape. Toilet looks solid. No real looking damage here from maybe leaks and things. So far this is a solid property. Got carpet here. You're probably going to want to change that just because nobody likes to, carpet holds other people's filth. So you don't want to keep a carpet in there, because then you can go ahead and get a brand new carpet in there, keep it fresh for your tenants, things like that. Again, no damage here on the ceilings, looking pretty good. Stairs look solid, not much to do here. You got a couple different colors, but that could be just shadows. So I'm going to assume that's shadows, but even if it's not, there shouldn't be no real big issues with that. Let's see. So we got some stairs that go on the porch that go upstairs. This is the kitchen. Coming into the kitchen, again, these cabinets look solid. Probably just want to if anything, just change the counter. But that's very unnecessary on a rental because, people will mess up your stuff. And it is what it is. You don't want to put things that are too expensive in here because, again, people will mess up your stuff. Now, granted, you can go ahead and put like a solid surface on there that'll do pretty well. But then you got to worry about people coming in and putting hot pots on there and putting burn marks on your stuff. So, you decide what you want to do. I'd probably leave what looks like the laminate on there because if anything, you can switch that out for a few $100s, no big deal. Let's see. I don't know what they thought this picture was going to be, but again, nothing serious going on here. I don't know why they took a picture of a door that looks into a room that you can barely see. Not the best marketing in the world. Let's see, this goes into the outside. Got yourself, we're gonna have to look at this description. This looks like it may be a 2-unit somehow, some way. So we'll take a look at that in a minute, because this is a totally different cabinet setup here. Someone's got a freezer. Doesn't really matter to us. They'll probably take it. Another bathroom. Again, looks solid. No real damage here. A good cleanup. Do good wonders for this, especially once you get the clutter out. And we going upstairs. So this is an issue. We have someone using an indoor space heater type thing, blowing, heat throughout the room probably. And this is probably going somehow outside for a vent. Other than that, again, solid. Outside, no garage, so that's going to be maybe about a $15,000 hit on the total ARV. And it's one of those things where you could put the garage in for 15, but at the end of the day, you're going to put 15 in to get 15, so it's kind of a wash. You can just have the people park on the parking slab. They don't even have a parking slab, but you could see what they want to do. You do want to kind of fence this in, just because so they can have a little privacy, but again, that's not too big of a deal. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Bring it back out. Let's see what the address is here. So for 120, that's not bad at all for 120. And let's read the description really quick too. So we got investor sees an opportunity with this electrifying deal. Spacious 5-bed 2-bath home, once considered a 2-flat. So like I thought, someone had it. That's 2 units. Is now available as a single family property, currently housing a reliable month-to-month tenant. So there's already a tenant in place. It is renting for $1,750 right now. I can already tell you that this person's already paying too little. So the person who owns it probably doesn't know what the market rent is, because at this point, for what it is, they could be making a lot more money on this property. So this is a good thing and a bad thing, because now if you buy it, you're going to inherit a lease for $1,750 a month. And even if the lease is up, this person is used to paying $1,750 a month. You come in and change it to market rent, they're probably going to be upset, and they'll either leave, which that's the best case scenario, or they could stop paying and say, well, screw you, I'm not going anywhere. So me personally, I don't like to inherit tenants, because that's just issues that I don't want to deal with. But again, there's $1,750 coming in a month right now. Could be decent, might not be. We'll get into the numbers with that in a second. So let's see. This gem holds significant profit potential for savvy investors. That's going to be us. Evaluate its prime location, rental market, and conditions to maximize returns. So they're telling you, at least the agent knows, they could be making more money on this than they're getting. Let's see, Kentucky. Share cash flow, act swiftly, secure investment, gold mine, yada yada. Take the first step towards up to $10,000 down payment and buyer may be eligible for up to $10,000 in down payment and probably a program that's not meant for us investors, maybe for someone that is going to live in it. So anyway, we're at we'll call it 119, because let's not be silly and ignore that $100 doesn't make a difference. Again, I don't know if I would have put it for there, because at the end of the day, if you put it at 120, you're going to open up more buyers for it, because people who went up to 120 instead of, whatever, it's going to pop in on more people's radar. So if they said, I want something between 120 and 150, all of a sudden you just lost yourself some buyers that you could have gotten, because now they're not even going to see it. But anyway, let's go ahead into the numbers. So next thing we're going to do is take that address, go into my good friend Rentometer. Rentometer is the greatest thing ever on earth for real estate investors. So let's see. That was a 4-bedroom. Well, they called it 5 beds, 2 bath. So since we're going to rent it out, we'll just say it's 5 beds, 2 bath. And I'm going to go through this real quick and show you also how it ranges in the the range when you go for 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom. Sometimes at 5, all of a sudden, you're going to end up getting less money. Now, granted, you don't have to actually charge it that, but you'll see on some of these. It may not be today, but as we do more of these analysis, you'll see how that kind of works out. So let's see what it is straight up. So right now, you can get about $2,100 a month. If you fix it up real nice, you can get about $2,400. Is it worth going the extra mile to make the $300? That's going to be the question of the day later. So we'll call it $2,100 a month for a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. We'll go down to 4. Let's see what it would be if we market it as 4, because it originally said 4, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. So there's like this phantom bedroom in there or whatever. But anyway, 21. If we go up to 4, 1,800. If we go down to 3, 1,700. So you notice that between 3 and 4, you made about $100. 4 to 5, you had made, what was that, 300. But at 2, call it a 2-1. I was thinking real hard about this one. So $1,200 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. You're gonna see so many properties at a low price for 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and you'll be like, oh wow, great. But then again, $1,200 a month. That's change. You're probably gonna end up with a cash flow of maybe like $100, $200. That's not what we're in the business of doing, putting down large amounts of money to make small amounts. We're not in that business out here. So 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, $1,450. So already you get an extra $250 a month for having the 2 baths. And there's a 1 bath, 1.5 is what they give you on here. You could charge a little more because it's a 2. If you have 3 bathrooms, you could charge a little more. So let's see what the 4, because I mean these things really do have like 4 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's tough to live in, but it's there. So $1,725, not the greatest again. And at 5 bedrooms, and if this only had 1, look at this craziness. Look at this craziness. So 5 beds, 1 bath, $2,300. 5 beds, and you get another bathroom, you lose $200. It's crazy because but it's live, real things. You can see where the people are getting the money on here. That's why I like Renown. If you do a view pro report, you will get the address of every one of these. You'll get the listing of every one of these, and you can see and figure out, okay, well, that's when you start getting into your real good analysis of, okay, my property has this, and this. It looks like this. The walls are clean. The floors are brand new. This one doesn't. You can make your adjustments and really fine tune what your rent should be. So again, we are at 5. So because we're not going to be dumb, we're going to call this, because why not? You have an extra bathroom. Why should somebody be paying $200 less to get another bathroom? That don't make no sense. So next thing we're going to look at is rental property calculator on calculator.net. This one costs like $60 a year. Well worth it. Flat out, can't lie, well worth it. The fact that you can pull up rents all day, every day, analyze to your heart's content, and get your market rents, well worth the $60 a month, or not a month, a year. Because at the end of the day, when you're out here really investing, you go ahead and take yourself, you'll probably run at least 10 a day. Weekends too, because who cares? It don't take but a second to run it. So it's not like it's your job. You're gonna see them every day. You're gonna run stuff like probably every day. And if you're gonna use this every day, and you break that down to $365, the cost to do this is, it's like basically free when you really break it down. But anyway, so we're gonna take our number, and what do we say? We're gonna do $2,300. So $2,300 Oh wait, first we have to figure out, okay, well, what is this property probably worth? So rehabbed, actually I just bought and finished a house in this area. It actually looks almost exactly identical to this property, but it only has one bathroom. Like I said, this house typically only has one bathroom. This one has two. So even better. We are winning there. With it having two bathrooms, well, mine appraised for $240,000. You throw an extra bathroom, it's probably like $250, $260. So we'll go on the low end and call it the $250. So we end up putting the $250,000 in there. This is a property that you are going to be investment. So you're going to end up with about a 20% down payment. Depending on your lender, you might have to put 30%, or I shouldn't say put 30%, but leave 30% in. So let's see, we'll call it 25% down. Most of this will be made up when you go ahead and refinance it and things like that. Right now, a DSCR loan, because we like DSCR loans here, because you can go ahead and get it and it's based off of your deal, not off your income. Because if it's off your income, you're gonna get all kinds of problems when you are, when you start getting more properties, because they're gonna be like, okay, you have all these houses, you owe a lot of money, and you make this much, you might start getting into debt to income ratio issues. But with a DSCR loan, they don't care as long as the debt service coverage ratio is in an appropriate place. So right now, I just got a quote for, I think it was 8.5%, 30 years, closing costs. We're gonna call it $12,000, just because we're gonna do 2 closing costs. Now we're not done. We're gonna have to go back, but we're gonna work the numbers backwards. What he said that you're gonna be getting, I think it was $2,300. Yeah, $2,300 a month. Vacancies, you definitely want to save for your vacancies. I would suggest, until you get probably 6 or more, to go ahead and do your own management. So don't put a management fee in there unless you already got quite a few properties, because you may want to be passive, but you want to know and learn before you go ahead and pass the job off to somebody else. So let's see, property taxes, $804. That is not uncommon in that area. I would call it $1,500 just to be safe, because it's always better to end up with more cash flow at the end, and all of a sudden you put in 8 and then you get 15 taxes and you're like, okay, crap, I'm not making what I thought. If you're gonna hold this for the long term, now I'll get you into a different strategy next week, which uses the BRRRR strategy and then a sale, so that way you can go ahead and do 1031 exchanges into bigger, better things in a couple years. But we're gonna stick to just the straight regular BRRRR today, and we're gonna say we're gonna hold this one forever because it's a good property and you want to keep it, and it's a cash cow and you like it. So I like to put $1,800 a month, or not a month, a year away for things along the lines of lawn maintenance, snow removal, if someone needs to come in to fix a pipe or something small. $1,800 a year, which comes out to about $150 a month, put aside to take care of those things. Other costs, I'm not sure what they meant by it, but I use it for CapEx, and I put another $1,800 a year away for that, and that's money that's not going to be touched, and you can adjust it as needed, because this is what's going to cover if you need a new roof, you need to get a new hot water heater, new heating, new air conditioner, bigger ticket items. So when you get your inspection, typically the inspector will tell you roughly how much life some of these things have. Make your other costs, in this case, which is also, like I said, CapEx, capital expenditures. And if they say, you know what, you're going to need a new roof in probably about 5 years. So you take the $15,000 to $20,000, break that down into 5 years, things like that. So do your math based on real numbers at this point. I use 1,800 just to keep it, easy, assuming it's got a lot of life yet left on it, and assuming that probably in some cases you're going to replace some of this stuff as you're doing the rehab. So let's go ahead and say 1,800 there. We're going to hold it 20 years. That's just doesn't really matter. Cost to sell doesn't really matter. Vacancy management, we're good. So this property here would only make $68 a month. That is not what we're going to be going with today. So, but at least we got to see what we're doing here. So let's go back. Let's double check these. 250,000. 2,300 a month, 3,000 annual taxes. Actually, this can come down to 1,000 from my area. Again, you'll know your numbers a little better when you get there. That doesn't matter. So yeah, $100 a month, not worth your time and effort. So at that point, we go back to the drawing board and do another one. But let's just assume that this one worked out, just so that we're not doing a whole nother analysis and things like that. So what we're going to do from here is say, okay, we have $250,000 is what it's worth. We're going to have to leave 30% in the deal at the end of the day. So get your calculator out, and we will go ahead and say 250,000 times 0.7. So that means we have $175,000 max that we can. If this was an investment property, didn't need no work, 175 is our max offer price. So then we go ahead and take out its current asking price. And so we are at, again, we're going to call it 119. So we're going to subtract 119,000 from the 175. So that gives us roughly, let's remove the 2 closing costs, because you're going to need a rehab loan to start, which is called a fix and flip. So if you're going to get the first loan, look up fix and flip, Google fix and flip. If you want, you can go ahead and reach out to me, and I can give you some recommendations on some lenders that I use. I have probably 6 lenders that I use, so you can test them out or whatever and figure out if you want to use them or not. So anyway, we take away the $12,000 because we need the DSCR loan closing and the fix and flip closing. So $6,000 per, which that sucks, but that leaves us with a $44,000 rehab budget. So again, now we go back and look at this and see if we can really get this done for $44,000. So this probably would be, if you hired somebody, like $1,000 to $1,500. So we'll call it 1,000 just for easier math. Let's just assume we're going to change out these countertops. Again, that's going to probably be about $700. So we'll call it 1,000 again. So now we're at 2,000. Nothing else needed there. We're going to go ahead and probably change out this carpeting in this room. That's probably 500 there. Keep it cruising. This looks solid. Everything in here looks okay once they get their things out. Again, just a cleaning in here. Another carpet in here, so that's probably another 300 for the small room. Probably don't need to repaint this. Door looks okay. Everything, keep the appliances probably. Let's see. So this is probably, they had made a little studio apartment up here, I'm gonna guess. We got this. Floor again looks okay. you probably would want to take all this out so that you have you don't have issues with the city or county, wherever you're at, where this might not be a legal unit. And you could probably rent it for and you probably would get the same, because you'll probably only get like $500 or $600 for it. But then you're also going to probably have to take $500 or $600 off the main rent anyway. So it'd probably be a wash. Be worth it to probably just get rid of it and offer it as a bigger unit for somebody. Bathroom, again, probably just needs a good cleaning. Yeah, I don't know about this one here. This is the issue that I would have. But other than that, I mean, if you can figure out and just, I mean, again, we're not there. We don't know exactly what it's for. I'm going to assume it's just to heat up or cool down the room when that's a vent to outside and whatever. There's other ways to do it without having something so ugly. Like there's floorboard, electric heaters and things like that you can work out. So whatever. I mean, we could figure something else out to do with that. But for now, we'll say, okay, it works. So let's keep it. Nothing needed to do there. So overall, let's just say it needs $10,000 worth of work, which is not bad. So that leaves you $34,000. If you got it refinanced for the full $250,000, you would probably walk away with roughly $30,000 extra in your pocket. Now that's not too bad. That makes the property make a little bit more sense, because you're gonna maybe make $100 here, but you're gonna walk away with $30,000 off the top. So again, I'll show you next week another strategy that I use, that if you take that away, and I'm gonna sell this property in 2 years probably, so divide that by 2 years. We'll divide it by 24 months. So divide that by 24 months. That's an extra $1,400 a month that you would be making, plus that $100. So plus $2,400. So in that sense, yeah, that's not bad. This might not be a terrible deal now that we've walked it all the way through. So let's go ahead and figure this one out here, because let's say you got and you kept it for only what you needed it to get your money back out of the deal, because that's the whole point. You don't really need to really get $34,000 worth of equity out of this and put it back in your pocket. The idea really for the BRRRR method is to either get your money back and start fresh, or to just be paying less, because 20%, I mean, you could pay $50,000 for one like this that's already ready to go, or you can get it for free. Basically, all it took you was to rehab and refinance the property. So let's go ahead really quick. Take the $250,000 and minus the $34,000. $250,000 minus $34,000, not $340,000. So we're at $216,000. So we'll call it $216,000 instead. And again, we still have the down payment still in there. That was profit. So we still got that. So we call it a 30% down, because again, we took it for 30%, not 25%, and bring it. Now all of a sudden we're at $400 a month. This is not bad. And if, again, I'll show you this next week, if you do it to where you're getting rid of this property in 2 years, you can go ahead and get rid of this one, because at the end of the day, we're not going to have the property long enough to go ahead and need to have to do new roofs and hot water heaters and things like that, especially if you fixed it on the thing. So bring that in, and now all of a sudden we're at $539 a month. Again, we're not doing too bad here, but yeah, I'll go into that later. So just off that, we're at $500. So this is not the worst deal in the world. So yeah, with that being said, pretty good deal. So go ahead, let me know what you think about this deal down in the comments. I personally like to keep mine at $500 or more per deal. And with that, then I'll roll with that, because I can take $500, knocks me off and gets me closer to retirement. So go ahead, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.